Also testing. We should be able to be audible on stream now.
Up, up, up. Testing, one,
Also
two, 1,
testing.
2.
We should be able to be audible on stream.
Go.
Oh yeah. Okay, let me rework this real quick. Okay, I know how to do this now. All right. So for those of you who are in panel room B, tune into the stream on YouTube because it won't be like there'll be some issues with streaming it here. So actually, Lounge, if you'd be able to do that, that'd be great. If you like stream the YouTube thing into the panel room B.
Can't read that again. Sorry.
Oh, could you stream the could you watch stream on your browser and stream that into panel room B?
You want me to stream the? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I should be able to do it. Does this look good?
Yes.
Everything's fine?
Oh.
Pod.
Could you whoops. There we go. All right. Shall we get started?
Sure, why not?
All right.
This story starts with me as a kid surfing the web. I always scoured the internet for a bunch of random music files to throw at my friends to discuss and pick apart. Then I came across Vocaloid, and that became a weird core part of my life. Always seeing people make funny little songs with these vocal synths was super infatuating to me, and the most craziest thing for me at the time was the stories that the people could make with them. My friends know this, but the first introduction to any type of storytelling via Vocaloid was the Darkwood Circus. There's a reason why I'm scared of creepy circuses, but besides that, there was this one that mostly eluded me due to me being arrogant to what was being shown to me, and also a part of me being an absolute dummy. And that one series is why I'm here. I'm, of course, talking about Kagerou Project. Kagepro as a medium never showed up to me while growing up. For some reason it was all a bunch of whispers in the void with all the people I was hanging around at the time. I saw Daze when it came out and it was the coolest shit ever. And then my ass went to do the mundane, boring stuff of making silly mashups, and then time did its thing, I kinda forgot about it, and moved on with my life. That's it. The end. Thanks for watching. I'm kidding, I wouldn't be here if I was just that oblivious. So, the question that probably eludes you and my friends is, why? Why Kagepro? And why now? Well, if I'm going to be entirely honest with you, it's because of the music and specifically it being multimedia. I grew up on Toho and its massively multimedia-ness, so I thought after rewatching Daze and discovering there was covers including one done by Otto, I finally decided to take the plunge and see what this Kagepro thing was all about. But before jumping off that bridge to enter the Kagerou days, I knew that I needed a guiding hand because if I just went into the songs, I would have been the lost woods, so thankfully for me, I met some people who were excited to help aid me in this journey. So if there's anyone I should be thanking right now for this dumb journey I went through for the past couple of months, thank you Shaun and Danny Opal for shoving me off this building and delving into what started this whole project. The music. God, where do I start with the music? I decided to watch them in story order, which did help in many ways for understanding the story. It was all normal for me being like, okay, I can see what's going on. Some weird things going on with red eyes and I think a time loop? So, pretty basic. Oh my god, what is going on here? After that initial shock, the early music is one hell of a vibe for me. The unfortunate aesthetic of the early 2010 YouTube compression with all of its 480 glory caused me to get nostalgic for some of these songs that were super fun to enjoy. From the way Ia was tuned, the way Jin played his guitar, and then the rest of his instruments sounding super Toho-esque, each song with a fan MV was a treat to listen to, and shockingly enough, there were a few songs that I remembered watching way back then. I knew of Daze and Lost Time Memory, obviously, but when I saw Mekakushi Code, it just made me really confusedly nostalgic, like the back of my brain was yelling at me, telling me I've seen this before. But right now, the story that was being fed to me in these songs were amazing. There were songs that made me feel sad, like Transparent Answer, with the bass and guitar riff holding that melancholic beat that ties so well with the lyrics, and hold on. Why does this girl look familiar to me? Anyways, after that song, I got to experience more settings with Gunjo Rain, experience Peak with Night Tales Deceive, and revisiting Lost Time Memory. Then I got to experience Aino's Happiness Theory, and this girl's gonna ruin me, is she? So, after that emotional break and experiencing the songs and story more with Outer Science showing off a new EO voice bank, Summertime Record pulling a Constant Companion, Out Now, Go Bye, and also revisiting Daze again, everything felt so comfy for me. The songs were checking all of my boxes, the story it was telling me was keeping me entranced and guessing. But the one thing that kept on nagging me was Aino. Why was she so familiar to me? It's like I knew her before, but from somewhere else entirely. Then I saw this. Now, of course, I know what Additional Memory was. I've watched it when it came out. It was huge in the Vocaloid space. Hell, it earned the title of Vocaloid Myth because it's that popular. The thing that made my jaw drop in surprise and made me feel so stupid is that my ass thought at the time that Aino was a Miku Sona. Now let me explain my reasoning. So, when I first saw this, having zero idea what Kagepro was and not looking at the description, which honestly, if I did that, it would have made more sense who Aino was, I was thinking, okay, many people do give Miku different designs for their MVs to tell their stories, but this one is taking creative liberties with Miku, making her hair different and turning her ponytails into a red scarf, red eyes, making a total collar swap for her, and yeah, my bird brain ass is not beating the bird brain allegations. You can make fun of me later, but right now, this bilious baby brain babble the bend his beak, I'm a freak, just got done watching fireworks in the summer end, and boy did I tear up. It felt like it was telling me, hey, thanks for listening to this crazy little story I wanted to tell through a medium I love. So before going on to the next stop of my Kagepro journey, which was the light novels, I had to go rant about Kagepro to my other friends about this man named Jin making a story through music and my crazy theories of what's going on, and then one of them just said, oh, Jin from Daruma family? And my convoluted amalgamated mind couldn't handle that statement. You mean to say Jin was a part of a Toho circle, then did Vocaloid? And sure enough, checking his Nico Nico account, yeah, it checks out. He was a part of my favorite Toho circle back in the day. Which, if anyone is curious about, like, this circle, ever since they disbanded, all of their CDs and songs are, like, over $100 if you try to find them anywhere because, you know, they're they don't do stuff anymore. So after that revelation and coming down off of the ecstasy of the music, my next steps were to experience the novels. Since this achromatic twisted aeronaut got to see the baseline of the story via the music, I was curious to see how the story was going to be done in a written narrative. So with me sitting in the most uncomfortable chair and all the novels at hand, I began my journey of reading the Kagerou daze.
Go on.
I genuinely don't know how to describe what it was like sitting in the most uncomfortable chair while reading these novels. For the people who have already read the novels, you might know what I'm about to say, but for my friends who haven't read this, hi Kay, let me tell you something about these novels. These goddamn novels are the greatest thing I have read in a hot minute. I don't normally read for fun since I read manuals and look at letters almost every day. So when starting to read these, seeing how these characters get to shine through with how Jin writes was the most greatest thing I got to experience in a long while. The first novel made me laugh in confusion, seeing how Shin acted as a person with all of his he's an 18-year-old, neat, virgin. The second one with the whole school festival unraveling the mystery who was Ian, and her having a resemblance of Miku more than Ayano. I still can't get over the fact how I thought she was a Miku. Then laughing harder during the amusement park scene. Then the wacky woohoo fun adventures with Hibiya and Hiyori in 3. The goddamn emotional ramp up with Azami in 4. Then the depression hitting with Shuya in 5. Then Haruka's backstory in 6 and everything just afterwards. This goddamn lighter won't light. If I'm gonna be completely honest, this cast of characters is probably the fastest crew I have ever gotten attached to. Halfway through reading the 6th novel, I immediately broke my rule of sequencing media and just started watching the anime and also reading the manga, just to see how derivative all of these routes that Jin made in what seems to be such a hellish schedule, and also living in his office at some point. Like, holy hell, Jin, what is up with you? But when I finally got towards the end of the novel, I cried hard, which is something I didn't expect at all for me to do, because the last time I ever bawled like that was for the end of The Man Who Erased His Name, which had over 7 years of buildup that I got to experience. But this series, this cast of people written by one person with editors, made me care and cry for these characters in under 2 weeks of knowing them. Then when the manga and anime all wrapped for me, I was hungry for more. And reading that Jin wanted to make a new story in this whole entire universe at the end of the novel, I was hyped. I've just experienced Peak, and now he's making more Peak? I need to know where I can find it. I haven't seen anyone talk about it, so I'm gonna do my own digging and see where I can find it. And oh, copyright issues. Oh, copyright issues. So, because of this, there's no new media for me to experience, and because of that copyright, it'll be unknown when there'll be a new Kagepro related project ever. I really wanted to experience more of the story. The music, the characters, everything was so up my alley that I got caught up in what Jin was making that I completely forgot the one rule that every piece of media has taught me. Everything ends, either naturally or abruptly. Well, I guess this is it for now, since Kagepro's in copyright hell. Goodbye for now, Kagerou Project. You were one of the greatest pieces of multimedia I ever got to explore. Maybe someday, but for now, I pray to see you again.
Starlight, say goodnight. Star bright.
But I didn't want my journey to end there. No, because there was one thing I wanted to explore more than any of the official works. Something that has more heart put into it, more expression, and definitely more passion into it. Something that I knew exploring would have made me love this series more than ever. And that thing is you, the community. For me, it's always important that whenever I explore a medium, no matter how big or small the IP is, I always want to see what the community is up to. Because no matter what the creators are doing, whether needing to sell out due to the need for appeasing shareholders above, or if the IP is just laying dormant for what seems to be forever, the people who are keeping that heart beating, that soul radiant, doing a dance so delightful that it makes people curious to see what this thing is all about, is the community. Talking to the few I did, hearing them being so warm and passionate for this project, while seeing all of these fan works was astonishing for me. From being at awe looking at these zines that people are putting together, or seeing a reanimation, these silly little memes, to even this con. It's genuinely insane how such a small community can get together on a special day for them and put on something so wonderful as this. It genuinely reminds me how I got my start and stuff way back in the day. Just friends hanging out, meeting new people, making silly projects that became something beautiful. So, if there's any message that I want to leave off on, it would be this. Keep on creating. Keep on yapping. Keep on making silly little memes. Keep showing your love for this project. Because if all it took for this grease spill and a bad time to get into and fall in love with Kagerou project was by watching a Daze cover made by friends, then I'm sure many more will be interested as well. This has been Lounge. Have a happy August 15th, and let's meet back again. Shall we?
Welcome to the fiction. We hide here every evening with plenty of exuberance and voices for the voiceless. But if I look out on the floor, is there room for any more? I'm a buzzkill and a bore, I'm not the person this is for. But I'm tired of civil war, my spirit is screaming out for more. It's all just too much to ignore, that I could be something more. Could be something more. Sprawl at the ballroom with the lights down low. I know you see my eyes aglow.
Shaun?
Yes.
Yes? You needed to say something to me as I said in the DMs apparently.
Yeah. So first of all, Lounge, very good video.
Yeah. Thank you. I worked really hard on it. You did an amazing job of directing me of where to go.
Yeah. One really big problem. What the fuck was Een?
Yeah. Isn't it not Een?
It's NA, dude.
It's NA.
Yep.
It's NA.
Yep.
Like, are you? Can I get a double check on that, please?
Guys, you can confirm
Can
from
I get a
it's
second source?
NA.
Can someone tell me in the chat? Chat, tell me. I'm right. It's Een. See, everyone's telling me Een. See, Een. Everyone's saying
They
Een.
are
So
not.
far, I have like a lot of people saying Een. Just one person saying no. We don't care about them. We got Een.
There's
See, Een.
so many people saying
Een.
no.
I mean, look, there's more people saying Een, so I'm more. Yeah, Een for life. Thank you. Someone agrees with me. Oh my god. Amazing. Perfect.
How dare you guys?
Look, man. It's all because of your bald spot, okay? If it wasn't for your bald spot,
all right, man.
NA might
All
be
right.
real.
You gotta bring my
but
my
Een,
bald spot into
perfect.
this on Kagepro Day.
Yeah. On Cage Pro Day, yeah, I get it.
Oh, that's gonna mods.
What? We're gonna get shot.
Mods. We gotta
Send him to the days.
send him to the days.
Send him to the days. Cage Pro. I don't think I like Cage Pro. Please send him to the days.
Cage bro, Jesus. Oh man.
All right, how's it going, Shaun? It's been a hot minute.
It's
my God.
It's been a hot literal minute. Like actually a minute.
Actually, how's everyone else is doing? By the way,
Yeah.
it's been generally a wild ride for me getting into this project and seeing how everything was made, and then looking at the fandom. I'm like, oh, hello, this is great. I did get to see the other panels. It's funny that you mentioned that, because while I saw the other panels, looking through it, great. I was at the Pokemon Worlds today walking around, so literally I was like focusing on my phone, bumping into people, looking at the panels while going through stuff. It was one heck of a time. I literally had like one of my friends like literally just grab me by the my backpack and just like hold me in a direction. And that was just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, this con, oh my god. I've never seen like an online con before, so it's like, this is actually crazy. Just seeing like all these panels and all this stuff, I'm like, ooh, it's like a real con, but online.
It's Dazecon, yeah.
What about you, Shaun?
What, me?
Yeah? Yeah, you. How are you? What do you think about this con? What is your opinion? Do you hate all of this? Do you love all this? Are you doing it for clout? Are you rotting for clout for here?
I actually hate. I'm kidding. Dazecon has been. So, let's see. Last Dazecon, I was actually quite involved with the event, and I think that was the first year I actually got very much so into Dazecon, because for the years prior I've heard of it, right? But by that point, I hit so history with Kagepro, as a lot of you know. So for me, is that I got really heavily into it in like 2014, 2015, 2016. But over time, I just like I enjoyed it in like my own weird way. So I never interacted with much of the fandom. And I've always heard of Dazecon like later down the line, but I never really like made the time or just had the energy to really like take part. I've always just seen like, oh, that's Dazecon. That's a cool idea, right? A con that's online, It's like, oh, a con that I can actually go to, because I'm very far away from where the rest of the fandom is. But I never really joined until last year, where last year, the last one. Because
2023?
Yeah, 2023. That was the last one.
Dang.
And
that was a year that I remember that gap.
Yeah, right. So for that one, I also I organized a group cover of a certain song, Daze, with an old cover group, Starcrossed. And I also held a panel, and among other things, it was my first time really getting involved with Dazecon. And I remember feeling like right after the event ended, I was like, man, the con experience was really nice. I'm actually quite sad that it's over. And I'm feeling that like probably
But you're here now.
yeah, I'm here now. But I'm gonna feel the same thing probably stronger later because as everyone knows, this is the final Dazecon. And
Yeah.
the first one that you're here for, right?
Yeah, the first and last one. Because this is unfortunately the first one, very honored, and then the last one, a very le cry for me, which is very funny to notice. Like, I want everyone to know that's who's listening to right now. I literally did not know this was the last one until like I was talking to one of the people talking about Dazecon while making this video. I'm like, oh, like halfway through making the video, oh, this is the last one. All right, let me change a few things in my video really fast. Which you gotta help make as the creative director per se.
Yes. So, Lounge, this is your like you said, this is your first time really in the Kagerou project fandom, and so there's a good chance that a lot of the viewers here, you know, they might not be fully knowledgeable about you, Lounge, and the things that you do. Would you like to talk about
Me?
those? Yeah.
You want me to talk about me, giving me the platform to be me, all me, it's me?
Yes.
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Lounge. Hi everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Lounge. My quote unquote official things that I do is I am an audio engineer who works in post-production for video games. Besides that, what I did before that during like a creating stuff online is I used to be a part of a group that made mashups and made silly little video game mashups during that time. That time was great, and now I'm focusing more on the post-production side of video games. I know how to do ADR, I know how to essentially clean audio. If I really wanted to, like me and my friends always do like silly little projects on our own hand. Like for instance, one of the projects we're working on right now is we're redoing all of the audio in Puss in Boots, and that's just been a very silly little project that I have been going through hell for, and it has been one hell of a project to work on. But other than that, video wise, for me, I used to be a part of a group called Slime Station, three friends, aka slimes, getting together to make things that we love talking about. And unfortunately for us, we had to stop because it wasn't working for us. We started doing more things, and then we had to essentially split off. But for me, this is my first video on my own channel. If you do want to check out my other previous stuff, I will probably post it in later about Slime Station and everything else I used to do before. I made a video called Let's Talk About Music, and from that, I met a very particular person. And then that particular person did a cover of a Daze cover that made no sense of Daze. And then that person, I got with him, and he's like, hey, it's cool. Who are you? And then that's how we met.
Yeah. It's like that happened less than a year ago, which is again crazy to think about. This year has felt way too quick, yet also way too long at the same time. You know what I mean?
It would be almost 4 to 5 months for us to be known each other for like a year.
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
time is weird.
before that, we done like a lot of shit together, which is insane. Sorry for swearing. If it doesn't my bad. That's a problem. But yeah, no, it's like we did things, and then that kind of snowballed into me saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a Kagerou Daze video or Kagerou project video," and that was just like help. And then you just like kind of like got me into a direction, and I kind of just like drank that soup for a hot second.
I know. So a lot of
thank you if you want to get thanks.
what's it called? I know a lot of times we talked, right? It was so like you said, we talked about music initially for a lot of our conversations.
Yes.
For some odd reason, and I think over time, because like I said, it shaped who I am today with how much influence it has had over me. I'm looking at my collection of the manga and novels in my shelves right now. I brought Kagerou project up to lounge and explained like so Daze is from that, and there's actually a whole like series to go through, novels, manga, the anime, and
I think I remember you talking about
yeah.
specifically the music. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then you mentioned like the novel, and I'm like, the what?
Yeah, because like I talk about the music
I was
first.
just gonna go through the music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like
I was
oh,
just
they're
gonna go through
like
the music
books.
and be like, all right, video done. And I'm like, there's books. What do you mean there's books?
Yeah, there's a manga
There's
and
also a
the
manga. There's a
novel,
manga.
and yeah, this is the anime. There's the
And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, this originally probably like a week idea became like what 3 to 4 months of me just huffing this paint and just like truly getting high off of this whole entire thing.
no lounge read through all novels and like what to me at least what felt like a few weeks, maybe like 2. And for the record, I
was
like
specifically two.
2. Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks.
mm, like for me, I've been in the series for been into the series for a long time. I've not finished reading the novels yet. I've not finished reading the manga yet either because I forgot where I left off on. I could go read it. I have the copies of them. But like Lounge is basically huff the entire series like glue.
Yeah. If like I'm honestly the reason. Let me give you a timeline here. Since because of my work, we got extremely busy due to a lot of projects like coming onto our side of the of our what's the right word? Oh my god, why am I blanking out? Like of our section division of our company that we work for. So I originally thought like I'm probably not gonna make it for this Dazecon at all. I'll probably release it probably like in December or something like that. But one of the producers literally hit me up being like, "Hey, our studio host is going to be out this week. Would you be willing to do that?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So essentially, I need you to understand what my initial week was reading the novels. I got to work, cleaned up the studio, let actors in, and then I literally had like 5 to 6 hours of just straight up reading. I had literally nothing else to do, and it was the most uncomfortable chair in my life. I need to emphasize how much I hate this chair. It was a fancy office chair. I'm like, oh, okay, this will help. 2 days into that fancy office chair, my back was killing me. My back was like when you like get back pains, is always that starts at the lower back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want you to imagine like someone taking an ice pick and just straight up jamming it into your lower back and be like, okay, there it is.
I actually know.
And
I
I'm
know
like,
specifically that type of
second
pain.
day-
God.
Yeah, and then after that day, I was like, you know what? Screw this. I literally took that chair, moved it to the corner, walked into one of the other offices that was unoccupied, just grabbed a normal office chair and put it in. I'm done with this. I'm not sitting here being like, God. Oh my God. God. But yeah, no, that got me through reading the novels, and that was a journey and a half just reading that, and then seeing at the end of like the author's notes just a man slowly start not hating it but being like, this I'm in a very hellish schedule, this sucks, hey, I'm homeless now, hey, I had to deal with hospital visits, and I'm like, oh, like, Jin, you okay, you okay you okay
Yeah,
there,
Jin,
just going through that back to back to back, and just God.
that poor man. Like I was learning of what he's been through, right? Like a few years ago, and I think around that time, I believe that like he was hospitalized because he had a hole in his lung. It's like Jesus Christ, man. And
Yeah, he was essentially working himself to death.
yeah, it's like despite all that though, it's miraculous when you see how he talks about Kagerou Project. He still wants to work on it. That's something that he still has a love for. And I feel that if I were in his situation, I don't think I'd be able to look at the series like that, you know, the series of mine the same way ever again. Like you could tell like he genuinely loves and wants to, you know, this means a lot to him.
Yeah, no, it's strange how like the only story I can relate to this that happened in like recent like well, quote unquote recent media is Cave Story. Cave Story originally started off with one person making the game. It came out, classic hit, everyone loves it. And then essentially a different company just took the copyrights from them, and now that's the reason why we're getting a bunch of like redistributions, and he's not getting the money. Like he doesn't even own like Cave Story anymore. So seeing that story and then looking at this, I originally thought like Jin was probably going to be like, I messed up, like this sucks and yada yada yada. But to see him like still do covers on his streams and like being like doing stuff still and like wanting to work on it, I'm like, oh okay, this is like how that mindset of being punched down so much that you still want to work on this is I strive for that. That takes a fortitude that I don't know how you have, especially with what you had to deal with. Because if you guys don't know, after looking through kind of everything, he was working on the novel, the anime, and producing the second album all at the same time in 1 year.
Wasn't he like 24 around the time?
Which
I vaguely remember that to be the case. Like he was very
in
young.
2014, he would have been, yeah, he would have been like in his mid 20s, exactly.
Hmm.
So it was just like doing all of those projects, kind of being the lead for all of them, and just like having probably minimal experience of everything else is just like insane. Oh, and also the manga too. Can't forget about the manga. Just doing almost like 4 to 5 things at the same time in 1 year. It's like, how do you? The only person I've seen do that is just like the person who made Astro Boy, and that schedule was like the most craziest thing of all time.
Like it's nuts like the amount that he
Just
had
God.
to go through. I still think about that even now. It's like how did he survive that and still because like earlier, right? He was streaming with Sido and Wanyanpu, the two other artists who made some of the MVs for the song series, and he sounded so genuinely happy, which is was really nice to hear, right? Like just having a good time.
Yeah.
I saw someone translate it as like
He's just
the friendship survival stream, or no, friendship survival report. I think.
the 3.5 emperors of a Kagepro. One Piece.
Yeah,
But
literally.
yeah, God. So, Shaun?
Yes.
Shaun. Not question for you. All right, so how are you?
How am I?
Who are you? How are you doing? Yeah, how are you? Because I have a question for you.
Okay, so well, in what way? How am I? Like in general, or as of right this moment?
Just like how are you doing right now? I mean, obviously, you're tired, but how are you?
I'm.
How is you?
How is me? Physically, I am
Yeah, how is you?
very tired because I've
Same.
been doing a bunch of stuff for this event. Um, a lot of it had to be very last minute because, for example, the overlay you're seeing right now, I don't know how I did this. This is the fastest turnaround I've done in a long time. Like the the background and everything was just like thrown together. I drew the talk sprites that we're seeing right now. Uh, you know, and also I've worked on some other things for this for Dazecon 2025 that you may or may not see.
Now, I'm going to hit you with a question that I've been meaning to ask you for a very long time.
All right.
What does Kagepro mean to you?
Hmm. There's a very long answer to this.
I've asked everyone who was a part of it, and you're the only one who didn't answer it. So I want to ask you right now, what does this project mean to you?
What does Kagerou project mean to me? All right. Well, like I've already said, briefly and touched upon like earlier, right? It like I said, it shaped me to who I am today. If you look at my art style, even the way I draw eyes, you can tell it's inspired by the Kagerou project art style, like for sure. I got into singing covers because I want to learn how to sing Lost Time Memory. I got into really understanding how to listen to music because I listened to Lost Time Memory so many times, and it shaped me to have the interest in the things that I want to do, in the things that I want to create today, like genuinely because of this whole project. I found it, or it found me, at a point in my life where things were very rough. And without getting too much into that, it put me on a direction that I wanted to set myself on. It gave me a place in time, a spot to look forwards to work towards. And because of that, I am here doing things that I'm doing now. I've grown in a lot of ways since when I first discovered it, and my understanding and my views on some of the things about the project obviously has changed with time. That's normal. But no matter what, it is and always will be a very important part of what makes the things I create and the things I do, part of me. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can put it into one direct thing. It means a lot to me.
It means the world too. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So then again, thank you for setting me down this path. I was experiencing this whole entire thing has been a extreme joy, especially with the community. So I think I'll leave this up to you, Shaun, and then everyone else who's listening. If anyone wants to ask me a question or Shaun a question, go ahead, rapid fire. I will do my best to answer it completely honestly. Shaun will just lie every time, so don't ignore him. So I'll be the only one being
All right.
answering truthfully.
Yeah, I only lied to you.
But do you have any questions for me, Shaun,
the
too?
only time, like the entire time I lied to you, actually, there's none of us.
You were never into Kagepro.
Yeah, I was never. I stole this quote from someone. But no. The one of us tells truth, the other's counter true. Yeah, it's so true.
So yeah, Shaun, if anyone else, ask away. It's true. Absolutely true. I'm doing good. I'm pretty tired because today was like I went to essentially two cons at the same time. I don't think I had a bad work recently. Recently, work has been calming down. I did had to do a couple of solo things, but nothing I couldn't handle. So everything on work side has been fun. When, funny note, when me and Dizzy were having our talk, I immediately just started ranting about how terrible work was that day because I had to essentially prep 2 to 3 videos for like ADR, and they're long videos. And once I got done with that, I got a message from one of the producers being like, "Oh, by the way, they canceled." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I spent so much time prepping these videos for this game that I really, really want to see. I genuinely want to see, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, yeah, they're gonna do it. Actually, we're gonna be recording it next week that I get to be on, so I get to see my work finally go through fruition." I'm letting you. I'm just yes. Validation for work. Please, God, please let it be good. Look, man, work. Shaun, can I complain to work about you?
Yeah, sure. Was that the question? Like, do you want to complete? Like,
I don't have really anything to complain about
okay.
right now. Everything's
Alright.
everything's pretty chill.
That was good.
Hmm?
That's good.
What about you, Shaun? Yeah. Any question for me, Shaun?
Question for you. Well, I did ask you this earlier,
Yeah.
right? And
As we know each other for less than a year.
yeah.
Yeah.
I asked this earlier. So like, from outside of what you said in the video, right? What do you feel about Kagerou project now? Like, now that you're here in Dazecon in one of the like the final Dazecon on a panel talking to the community, like talking about you as a person, the things you do, and you got to meet people who just love this series, willing so much so that they're willing to make a whole con dedicated to it. Reanimates and everything. Like, what do you feel about this? Like, how does it make you feel?
It's very heartwarming to see a community take a project that they love so much and keep that heart beating alive, no matter like how just dead in the water it is until whenever that copyright ends, and even then, if it gets renewed or not, it doesn't really matter because it's just the people being like, "Hey, we like this project, we're gonna keep creating it," and that's just like I've seen communities just flat out die because there's nothing left for a project for them, or just this IP that just straight up doesn't do anything anymore, and it just goes dead in the water and there's nothing else anymore. Like Cave Story. Cave Story means a lot to me. The last thing it's ever received was a Christmas game in 2019. It was pretty okay. I haven't seen anything else from it. But to see this series that is multimedia and reach so many people that people are still wanting to make it, I look, like I've worked on Civa Gunner. I've done a lot of stuff like that. This shocks me. This genuinely shocks me to see that this community wants to keep this thing alive. So that's why I'm always like, it doesn't matter what IP it is, keep on creating. You're essentially the person who's keeping this thing alive. You are the reason why kagepro is still a thing. Because if you're not there anymore, then yeah.
Which
So
makes
it's just
me
like, God,
go on.
it's insane.
Yeah, makes me think about
No,
like.
but just one. I saw a question.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Wednesday, I found a better chair. I Cody Rhodes a chair, and then I got a new chair. It was a better office chair. I saw that question back all the way then. Yes, Civa Gunner mentioned. Long story short, in 2011, I got into SoundCloud mashups, got with the circle, and that circle essentially made Civa Gunner, and then I got to work on that until 2022. So yeah, you were gonna say, Shaun, before I had to give my answer for the chair.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that the creating thing, right? It is,
Mhm.
it speaks very closely to what I've been trying to do, just to enjoy creating things again. And seeing this, like seeing Dazecon and seeing just like really thinking about how people just want to keep this, like just to show off how much they love this series. It's very nice, which is why it's also quite bittersweet that this is the final Dazecon, right? But again, there could be other things that people do in the future. For example, right? Apparently in Malaysia,
Right, exactly.
where I am, people have hosted IRL kagepro events that I've only found out about this year. It's like, oh, unfortunately, I was visiting my parents at the other side of Malaysia, so I couldn't attend. Right in the, but I didn't expect the series to be still be alive here, like where I am, right? But that also
Yeah,
just just like
exactly.
thinking about it.
And it's like,
If you want
huh.
to have an event about something, you can just do it. Like you could just do
Yeah,
it. If
exactly. Like, even though this might be ending, this is the final con, things pop up. People want to do stuff. People want to create with this IP. And once that pops up, you're like, oh, okay, let me pitch in. Let me help. Let me do what I can. So even though this is like the quote unquote last one, things will pop up. Things will always keep on happening. As long as you're willing to put in the effort to lend your hand with whatever you want to do, then do it. And even if there's something that like doesn't exist yet, or like if someone is doing another con at some point, and if there's like something that you want to do inside of it that hasn't been done yet, pitch the idea to them. That's how like 90% of the projects I've ever worked on, because big group, someone pops in being like, hey, there's this project I want to work on. Okay, sweet, let's get together and try to hash this out. So things will always happen.
we have a question from Kitaro saying, "Have any of you been changed by the
Yes.
project? Look at my username."
Every single time I was reading the first novel, every single time I saw Shin, I almost read it as Shaun.
I don't know whether to be honored or like insulted by that. It's both at the same time.
Derogatory. For me, it's derogatory.
You know what? That's fair. Like Shintaro, one of my favorite. This is gonna be a pattern. Shintaro Kisaragi, one of my favorite characters in fiction. I like to see him suffer. Like I think he deserves like getting like punched sometimes.
You're a masochist?
That's not what I said. That's really not what I said.
Look, I relate to you as Shin, and you say you want to see him punched down, so you're a
You
masochist?
you correlate him to me, but like I don't do that for myself. That doesn't say anything about me.
No, it does.
It really doesn't.
I dub you a masochist with a bald spot.
That that why are people siding with
Yeah.
you? Wait, no one have my back. I've been here longer. Like, I've been here since 2 years ago. This guy just showed up.
Look, no, hold on. Greed is siding with you. No, hold on. No, you have one person, which by the way, Greed,
Yeah, you know what?
I'll give you
Greed,
$20.
Greed, you got my back.
Greed, $20. Greed, I'll give you $20. How about I make it 30? I'm gonna get 30 for you. 30, and I have, I think, a 50. Can I give you 30 and 2 ice cream sandwiches?
You're gonna buy out the only guy on my side like that?
Yeah. I have the money to
Damn.
throw.
I
All right. Well, I think it's been the top of the hour. I don't.
oh man.
So anything you want?
Oh, let's see. What else do I have to say about this project? I don't know. I'm just seeing you go through it, right? And just jump off the deep end. It's been really nice to see just someone newly experiencing the series. It's like in its own like small way. I got to vicariously live like, your experiences through it. I'm gonna go read the novel soon. I might do that on a stream or something sometime because I have them, minus the last book, but I have them. I've not read through all of them yet. But I don't know. There's still like even being a fan of this series for like 10+ years. There's still a lot more for me to see, and maybe that's why I'm also hung up on like looking through the rest of the manga, looking through the rest of the novels, because once I do that, it will end from like I will see everything there is that is currently out, unless Jin gets the kids back in the whole law affair thing. Oh, I said something really bad. Yeah. Oh, we're getting like annihilated. We said really bad things, apparently, Lounge. It's over for us. Lounge. Guys killed Lounge. Oh my god, they killed Lounge. Okay. We are like at the top of the hour. We're muted? No, we're not. Are we? What? Damn. That's weird. I can't hear Lounge for some reason. This is weird. But like I was gonna say, if for those of you who can hear me, right? Because I think someone else is having problems with audio. We should end this off soon. We're at the top of the hour, past like 3 minutes. I'll take like maybe 1 or 2 more questions from me that I can answer. If y'all can look past the disgust at the things I've just said. Unless no one can hear me right now. Okay. Strange. It's really strange. If you can hear me on stream, I'll just say this. So, someone asks, will you two ever think about doing Kagepro fan stuff in the future after Dazecon in the near future? I have some things in the works because I'm learning how to. Well, I'm pursuing some studies in the arts of audio, potentially, and like I said, I've only recently started doing full covers that I'm that I've had like professionally mixed and all that, and I'm just going to try to keep expanding on that because I've had experience like actually making something that I feel comfortable putting out. I just need to have more, more consistency. But that also means I do have a lot of plans in the future in terms of things related to Kagepro that I plan to put on in the future. In terms of cons, if there's an event that goes on, I'll see if I can do something for that. But again, like we said, no one really knows what's in the future. And what's it called? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, no one knows what's in the future. And really, at the end of the day, I think it's up to you to shape the future that you want to live in. And well, on that note, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to go to Lounge's channel for when he does more stuff for his channel where he talks about things. Feel free to follow my channel where more covers and other personal projects will go up. And enjoy the remainder of your time in the final Dazecon. It's been a long time, hasn't it? This is Shaun Taro. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.